Hello and good day, and welcome to the channel Northworthy Sagas and Stories. I am your host for the day, Bragi Magnusson, yes, the son of Magnar, and I'm a Viking. I'm a warrior, and I'm also a teller of stories and folk tales. And today I'm sat on this bench with my very good friend.
I'm Egil Thorson, looking at you now, and I'm a warrior, merchant, runecaster, and a storyteller.
Oh yes, can't forget that, and better the rune casting.
I'll drink to that.
Oh yes, West Hale.
I'll say.
Now, today we're going to review the first season trailer of The Last Kingdom, Season 1.
Remember that?
Oh yes, it's a very good series. I really enjoyed it when it came out.
I enjoyed it, yes. The storyline I thought was very good.
Yes, there's aspects about it which weren't so great, but
well,
we'll talk about that.
We can always make mistakes, even the best of us.
Now, we've watched a trailer, and I'll put that in a comment, I'll pin it, and I'll also pin it in the description, so you can go and watch the trailer we reviewed. Now, this is by Carnival Films Productions.
Nice one,
So,
Carnival.
I think just, I think overall, before we start talking about the trailer, I think it's just great to see Viking history being shown and talked about and on TV. It's just a great series.
I thought it was a good series. I saw it a little while back, and I watched all the episodes that were there. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, let's talk about things being historically accurate.
Yeah, well, we'll go through the list and we'll mention these. So for the first scene you see is this walled city. Now, I don't know, does this city look right to you?
I would have thought there would have been a palisade, an earth bank with
Yes.
a palisade on top. But it served its purpose, I think, in that,
It was meant to be Bamburgh, wasn't it, I think?
yeah, Bamburgh Castle, which is still standing today and has gone through phases of building. And if we're being perfectly honest, we don't really know. We can't say for certain this is what Bamburgh looked like.
No, we don't know what Bamburgh really looked like. Although I've not really researched it recently, so any more evidence will come to light.
Well, Time Team did a dig there.
Did they?
Yeah, and there's various layers of occupation, although they didn't really concentrate on.
Yeah, I mean,
Bamburgh.
I thought this place, the walls looked too wooden. There's far too much wood on these walls. It seemed to me that they got tree trunks and they put two tree trunks on top of each other, which made it very tall. To me, it seemed more a little bit later, 12th or 13th century. Well, I could be wrong on that.
I don't know.
I know I'm not a historian, and I know.
It was a bit sus, but
Yeah. And where is it filmed at? Is this a CGI effect, or is this a natural place? I'd love to know that.
may well be a studio in wherever they're filming.
But overall, it gave a great setting to the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Because you would have had walled cities, although like Egil said, the walls would have been slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, overall I thought that was a good start. So then you see these horse riders, they come in, there's a group of them,
Yeah.
and they've got big horses again.
They've got Arab horses. They probably would have had things that look more like Shetland ponies,
Yes.
but at the same time, yeah, it adds to the dramatic effect.
It
we've
does.
got.
It kind of gives the emphasis that this place is lived in and used.
And also they had stirrups, which
Yes, it did have stirrups. But I suppose that's more health and safety, would you say, with filming these
it probably
days?
is. I mean, you can get very precious about these things. Again, it served the purpose and health and safety.
Yes.
Would you want to go on a horse with no stirrups? I don't think I would.
Well, not really, no.
It'd take me a lot.
I think I prefer to have stirrups.
Take me a lot to get on a horse with stirrups.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
When I was about 4, and I was
Was
a
that on the
kid.
beach?
Yeah.
Right,
And I was-
that was a donkey, Egil.
Oh no, this was a horse. Definitely, it was a horse.
Oh, right.
But it was led by this girl, and I was getting annoyed with it. 'Cause I
That's
wanted
one
to-
thing I like to see in more movies, is more donkeys.
Ooh.
Because people would have rode donkeys, you know, so I'd like to see that rather than the big Arab-style horses.
Yeah, that's the point. It opens a whole new can of worms. When did donkeys come in?
Well, it doesn't, and what's the difference between a donkey and an ass?
I think an ass is a mule, isn't it?
A mule.
Which is a horse and a donkey,
Red.
but they're sterile.
Right.
Okay.
And then when you see these horse riders, about half a dozen of them, you see these 3 ladies on a cart, coming out of the city. I thought that was quite a nice effect. The clothing looked nice. It even looked slightly mucky. That's good.
Yeah, well, I mean, also it would have been easier to ride in a cart, more ladylike.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the Oseberg ship burial, there's a cart in that which is supposedly for the transportation of Princess Oseberg, as they call her.
I mean, one of these ladies was very clearly smiling and having a good time riding on top of that cart. So
Go for it.
And then we see the next scene when they enter the walled city. You see a lot of stone, but you don't really see stone from the outside.
Yeah.
So have they got stone walls and wooden palisades? It's a bit confusing.
Well, at that time, stone buildings, it was pretty rare. I mean, churches and cathedrals.
Yes.
Even then, when you're talking to churches, you're talking about big greenhouses.
Yeah, well, you're
they're
talking
not
about the
huge.
9th century here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Christianity got a foothold, but at the same time, building techniques don't get like that until the Normans come in, really. I mean, it's woodworking, the transition from wood to stone
yes.
is quite a big thing.
I mean, if anything, the inside of the city, from what we've seen from this scene, looks to be more mid-medieval and much later to me.
Well, the actual fort, as I say,
Yes.
goes through various
I'd love to know
phases.
where they filmed this, and is this an actual place? I'd love to know that.
Could be a combination of it. I think it's more likely
I mean,
to be
is it
old
remains of
studio.
a Roman fort? Is that what the place is based on?
Well, you see, the thing is, yes, there were Roman buildings around, but nobody had the techniques that the Romans had for maintaining stone buildings. And they kept away by saying it was built by giants. And in fact, we have found a Roman wall collapse from underneath the Saxon
yes.
skeleton.
Yeah,
So, you know, these things...
I've heard that a few times
Yeah.
now.
that, you know, you see the point. If the building's unsafe,
Yes.
you've got to be clear.
I mean, Gloucester is a typical example of a Roman fort
Hmm.
that was abandoned, and then in the Norman period they built a big castle on top of it, didn't they?
Well, the fort at Derby has got signs of repair from when Athelflaed kicked off, 917, and pottery in there. So it makes sense that there may have been somebody who had a rough idea of how
Yeah.
it should be done.
Then the next scene you see a woman, a lady, and she's in this knitted shawl, which to me looks a little bit later, but I may be wrong there.
Well,
But she was very clean.
yeah, the thing is, they had a form of crocheting called knoll bending.
Yes, no binding.
Knoll binding, and we know there's a pair of socks in Jorvik
Yes.
made this way. My ex-girlfriend actually made a pair of socks. Not for me, I hasten to add, but
Oh right, that's nice of her.
yeah, it's for Niall. When I asked her for a pair, she said, well, basically the theme was no, that she'd had enough.
Lucky Neil.
Yeah, but anyway, as I say, it's a form of crocheting.
Yes.
I made her a needle, which added to the sting of not getting a pair of socks out of it.
But is that shawl a null binded shawl? It looked null binded
It's
to me.
probably out the
It-
props box.
Yeah, it looked like a bit too. I mean, you could easily get away with the 19th century reenacting in that shawl. I can tell you now.
Oh,
So, but the woman was clean. So whether she was a high status woman, because high status ladies would have been clean, I would have thought,
yeah.
because you had a status and symbolism to represent of your
Well,
wealth.
this is where you get blue blood from. When
Yes.
you clean, you see that, especially around the temple, you've got blue veins.
Yes.
And they believed that aristocrats had blue blood because everyone else was dirty and you couldn't see it.
Now, leaving that scene, you go to the next scene of the long ships. Very nice view on the river. A
Yeah.
little bit misty. I'm not sure whether they got any shields on the outside or not, but I thought that was a very nice scene. That.
Yeah, I mean, probably CGI, but yeah, our long ship fleet always looks impressive.
Yes.
It's just a beautiful vessel. A ship, not a boat, I hasten to add.
Yes. A long ship, not a long boat.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, I thought that was a very impressive scene. It kind of sets the theme of the Vikings, because one thing you associate with the Vikings is the long ship, isn't it? You know.
well,
You know,
most people, you think of them leaping out of a long ship
Although, you
roaming
know,
up the beach.
very clearly the Saxons had long ships, didn't they? But you don't really associate Saxons with long ships.
They had ships, yeah, I mean, because Alfred's called the father of the Royal Navy, because he actually went out, had a fleet built to attack the Vikings before they landed, which came as a bit of a surprise.
Well, yes, it makes sense. That's very forward thinking, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, mind the Romans had a navy as well, but hey ho.
And then the next scene you go to an inside scene and they're inside some house. And there's a number of men there. They've all got clean clothes and short hair. You know, it's a very nice setting. They've got the kind of the atmosphere of the candles and the torchlight.
But they had a bit of short back and sides.
Yes, there was the modern haircuts and looking too clean. You know, just a little bit of dirt would be good.
Well, this is the point. I mean, it's odd because whenever I've been on film, dirty and put blood on me, but they don't seem to do that on these. I don't know why. Perhaps Hollywood dirt's expensive.
Well, you can understand not putting the blood in this kind of a scene, but certainly having a little bit of dirt.
Oh, grubby.
Because, yeah, you don't want to be like black, full of mud on your face, but no, but you're a little bit. A little bit better than none.
Well, I used to wash once a week on average. Saxons should be even dirtier because they didn't wash.
And then the next scene is the horse riders with the Earl. It looks good, but yet again they need to have longer hairstyles. And if you recall the scene, a lot of them were wearing mail. And in my mind, there was just far too much mail in this scene.
Well, 2 points. Long hair was a sign of status.
Yes.
And if you had short hair, you tended to be ignored. Mail, well, if you consider that the sword you're holding there is worth probably the price of a modern day Ferrari. The mail shirt, the whole mail shirt, would be like the whole of Duffield and everyone in it.
Oh yes.
The king would have a mail shirt more than likely, and probably his huscarls, his bodyguards, housemen, they would have had some form of mail, but it's so expensive. People forget these things are expensive.
Well, not only that, it's the time to make the mail, from from sourcing the materials in the first place to making the links. And you're talking thousands and thousands of links in a set, sometimes 20 to 25,000.
Some on my size, you can need quite a lot, and that's without the padded
30,000.
Well, if you add a padded jacket onto that.
And if you're riveting half of them, and 5 old and the other half solid, then that's even more work.
Well, it's going to damage your eyes, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Yeah. But, yeah. See, the typical thing would be have a leather jerkin with iron rings, which is cheaper. There's an account that the Danish warriors should have a deerskin jacket with iron rings sewn on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a cheaper version. Looks pretty sexy.
Now, after this scene of them riders, we go to the battle scene, and the first scene of the Viking shield wall. And I thought it looked really good, really effective.
Yeah, the shield wall on the Viking side, really effective, like you say.
Yes.
The reason the Saxon shields were square,
yes,
oblong,
rectangular,
was to show off the difference, because you think about it, Vikings, Saxons are pretty much the same.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done that, in my mind. But I can understand why they have done that. But I don't think they've done it for. It's more for the American market, I think, to a degree, because a lot of people have never heard of Saxons and Vikings, and if you've got to separate the two, then somehow doing that with different shield designs is very clever.
I think you'll find the Americans a bit more clued up than you think.
Yeah, I think they are. Yes.
It's for the average Joe in the street. I think what you mean.
I think it was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake, but at the same time, like you say, you can see why they did it.
They could have chosen different colour patterns on the shields. They could have made the Vikings look more Vikings, because some of the haircuts on those Vikings were quite strange. Do you call those haircuts?
The haircuts, it's a very odd thing, because I think we've said this before. You've seen the guy in ABBA, the blonde hair guy with the page boy. That is actually a Norwegian style of haircut.
Yes.
That was outlawed by the church.
Oh right.
Because the Saxons thought, I like that look.
Yeah, yeah.
pulls the women.
It's a good job I have a dark age band then.
Well, they'd have probably been raided. But that kind of hairstyle was considered wrong. You didn't have it. It's a bit like in World War II walking around with a Nazi armband. You just didn't do it.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have done that, no.
Yeah. But that's the same sort of effect.
Yes, you could see that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought the shield would look good. It set the settings for the battle.
Yeah.
Like I said, some of the Vikings had slightly odd hairstyles.
Depends what wigs they
And
got in store.
some were also wearing the same helm as well, I noticed.
Yeah, that, and there's probably too many helms as well. Again, helmet's the price of a house. Even here in Derby, we found skeletons that, from obviously people who are not so well off. There are instances, not necessarily in Derby, of cooking pots on heads,
Yes.
wooden bowls on your head. And when you think about it, you want to protect your head.
We do want to protect your head, yes.
Yeah.
Whether a wooden bowl would do that, I don't know. And I don't think we'll test it out in theory.
Well, not on me, you know. But I think it's.
If we ever get a dummy, we could test it out.
Well, you do whatever you've got. You know, it's better than nothing, isn't it?
So the next scene, you see a horse rider, and he's riding away. Probably, I think he's riding into the battle. It's the leader of the Saxons who gets killed. Bit of a spoiler there for you. You've not seen this brilliant series.
Older brother.
Yeah, and yeah, I thought it was a good little scene, but he had to get his wearing stirrups. So, but we can forgive that for the health and safety reasons for filming. So I thought that was good. And then you got the Viking mass shield wall when they put all the shields on top of each other.
Yeah.
And that looked really decent and effective. I really was impressed by that.
I think there were some impressive scenes,
Oh yes.
fight scenes. I mean, you know, these are some distinguished actors in there.
I mean, the fight scenes are very fast, so they are very hard to talk about into detail because they go past so quickly.
But then again, you know as well as I do, when we do public demonstration fighting, you're told to slow it down so people
Yes.
can see it. Whereas in reality, you don't have opening shots because if you leave anything open, you're going to get stabbed in it.
Now the next scene you see our hero, who's at the time is a boy.
Yeah.
He'll be what, about 10, 12 years old,
Yeah.
and he's like running through this wood, and he's like in full kit. He's got a shield, isn't he? I think, and a
Yeah.
helmet and a bit of mail. So do you want
Basically, he
to
would.
talk about that?
He would. If he was a king's son, maybe. But even then, when you were 12, you were considered an adult. So you'd stand behind your father's shield with your father behind you, and you wouldn't take part unless you absolutely had to.
Well, yes.
Because if you imagine the shield war, you have one or two children, well, they'd be considered adults. Maybe they'd have a knife or a spear for self-protection, but basically it's to get the experience of
Yes.
what wars are like.
And then you see the Saxons charging. That looks really, really good. Very effective. Both sides, well armoured, and you know, there's mass-produced bodies of shields. You know, very nice shields. I like shields. Very nicely decorated, and they also look used as well. I thought that was good. And then you come to the main battle scenes, and they're excellent battle scenes, like we said. Yeah, I really enjoyed the battle scenes.
Yeah.
And then you get the scene of where the hero's father is killed. Remember with the Viking with the blonde beard and blonde hair. And then our boy has captured the hero. And would they have done that? Would they have killed the boy? Would they just captured him, hold him to ransom? Or
It depends. I mean, if there's money in it, yeah, you're not going to kill somebody who can make you money. If it's a person who's lower status, there's no money in it, bit young to make a slave, so you kill him. I mean, the thing is, prisoners like that, you've got to feed them, you've got to house them, and you're immobile. So you're going to hold the whole thing up because you've got prisoners. No, you're going to kill them and have it done.
then the next scene you see is all those Vikings in the wood. Do you remember that scene with the boy? And that looks a kind of a good scene. They've got this Viking again with the long blonde hair and the beard,
Yeah.
and he's like, I think he's deciding to take the boy as his son rather than to sell him on. So I thought that was a good scene, and yet again setting the scene for the series for what happened to our hero. So I thought that was very good.
See, that's the thing as well. If the man hasn't got a son, and the kid's he's sort of borderline man, you probably might go, okay, we're not going to kill him or ransom him. I'll have him as a son. I haven't got anybody to inherit this. It stirs the pot a bit as well.
Yeah. And then you see the next scene of where, well, the boy becomes a man.
Yeah.
You know, our main character, and I must say it's an excellent casting of the main character. I don't know the name of the actor. I didn't look at that. I should have done. But I thought it was very good casting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it depicts him really good for the part. So I'm really impressed by that. Then you see another scene of a town scene. There's like a bit of a stage set. There's
I
folk.
think that's supposed to be Winchester.
Yeah, there's folk about, looking clean. A lot of the buildings have got shingles on. I thought that was quite impressive. You know, I'd like to see shingles on buildings. That's like wooden slates, often made out of lime, apparently.
Oh, right.
But it does look a little bit late medieval in times. But you know, you can forgive them for that to a degree.
There's no glaring.
I mean, this series has not been manufactured and made for us.
No.
Because we know too much about this period, so we're always going to be a little bit picky.
No, it's like train spotters.
Yeah.
They can always pick a fault with. You've got period piece with a steam engine. And yeah, they know. They even know what type of paint's used.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you know.
Yeah. I mean, for the overall people who watch this, it's going to be a great series. And I did enjoy it. I really did.
I enjoyed it. There's only one or two.
I'm looking forward to the next one. It's coming out in the next few months, in autumn. Series 3. So after this, we'll review the second series, and I'll look out for the third trailer, and we'll review that. But we also have in mind to actually review every episode in the future as well. So that'll be sort of like 30 episodes to review.
As long as I'm free, I can watch it.
Yeah, well, we have to figure out how we can get you a copy or something. Or we can watch it around here. So the next scene you see is King Alfred when he's grown up. And I thought this is a very nice scene, and yet again they chose a very good actor for the part.
The actor who played King Alfred I thought was amazing because we tend to get a rosy-eyed view of what King Alfred was about.
Yes.
And he doesn't pull any punches, he manoeuvres like a king should. You know, in the medieval period, you're not going to stay king for long if you're nice.
No, you've got to be ruthless to a degree.
Really, he showed that really well, and he's quite capable of dropping people like the hero.
I thought it was a brilliant casting for King Alfred. I really enjoyed the character, and how he got in depth with the character throughout the series. And then you see the character struggle with his own problems in his life, you know. So I thought that was good. Generally, it was just very good.
To be honest, both sides, you know, the leaders, whether they're Viking or Saxon, portrayed beautifully.
Yes.
I mean, like they say, Alfred was amazing, but the Viking leaders, especially was one of them you just didn't trust because he would go like that. The pagan one. Yeah,
then you get to the next scene of when a hero's grown up and some Vikings, I think, go and burn down the longhouse.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer's in
that. Rutger,
and that was really effective because you felt as though you're actually in the hall.
Yeah, and I thought the blind character was yet again another superb character.
Yeah.
And especially for our hero when he was growing up to have that kind of influence
Rutger Hauer's
of the Viking.
He's come a long way since Blade Runner.
Oh yes. And then you see the man who's on fire coming out of the building, which I thought was really good.
I wouldn't want to be the stunt man doing that.
You certainly got to praise the stunt people in this series.
Well, it seems to be, if you look through the histories and sagas, being burnt in your longhouse seems to be quite a normal thing.
Well, it's definitely in the sagas. There's lots of accounts of people being. I think in Eggle's saga, they have people being burnt in longhouses, and people having to break out of the longhouse.
Which is that guy was trying to do.
Yes, And then the next scene you see the coronation of Uhtred. And yet again I thought this was yet again another decent scene.
Yeah.
You know, the writers and researchers really thought about this.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's changed that much since Alfred's day. You've got the anointing and all that, but it brings home to the fact that this guy was somebody. He wasn't just a leader, he was the leader.
He was.
You know, and like him or loathe him.
I mean, I don't know about yourself, I'm not a massive royalist, but I do like King Alfred. He was a dude, you know. He was the king of kings when he needed a king.
Well, I mean, I support the Queen.
Yeah, same here, you know.
Swore my oath of allegiance when I was serving her, and I respect her. But like you say, you know, in the past when they were the rulers,
that was when monarchies were monarchies. That's what I see it.
Yeah.
But anyway, less of that. Then you see the fight scene, and our hero does something very bad here. He has a sword on his back.
Oh, my pet hate.
Yeah, this is a massive for me and for Eggle. This is a massive no-no.
Show us the D stains.
Because you know you can hold that, and yet again I can demonstrate with the fact that I cannot get my sword out, mate. I could just about get it out.
Yeah.
But it's a struggle, and this is a short sword.
It's only 30 odd inches long.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So yet again, I think that is a very poor decision.
Yeah, it's just for effect.
Why do film producers and people in the movie and TV business insist on having people with the swords on the back?
Because they think it looks sexy.
It doesn't look sexy. It's ridiculous.
I mean, Xena the Warrior has a sword like
that. That's fine because that's a fantasy. I mean, Lucy Lawless. You know. Ooh. Oh yes. I mean, I was thinking about her the other day. That's fine because that's a fantasy series.
Yeah. But
you know.
Also in the King Arthur films, the guy playing Lancelot has two swords on his back. That's just pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not right. So I do wish he wouldn't do this and just have his sword by his side where it should be. Yeah. You know. And then the next scene you see is like a fight scene, and there's like a bowman versus I think a swordman. I thought that was very good, but whether the bowman would win over a swordman, I don't know.
Well, if you're far enough away, yeah.
And I can't quite recall. But then you see this very cool sunset, and then you see a close-up, I think, of the hero's sword, and he's got his massive amber pommel.
Big disappointment.
That was a big disappointment. Well, for me. In the episode when he met the blacksmith and magically in an afternoon the blacksmith was managed to make a pattern molded sword and put a fancy pommel on it, it's just ridiculous. That would have taken days if not weeks.
Well, the thing
more
is,
than one blacksmith.
The first time you hit a shield with that sword, that pommel would come to pieces.
Yeah.
The pommel is very important. I mean that balances your weapon.
Yeah, but your pommel is also a weapon.
Yeah.
And there's no way you could do any damage with that.
Well, you might get shards of glass.
Oh, yeah. So I just thought, I don't know why they did that.
Again, it's for effect.
It is for effect.
If it was a fantasy film, you could understand.
Yes.
And I think they get a little carried away, bless them.
Yeah, so I thought that could have been better, and they could have just used a normal sword and be normal, but never mind. It had to be a bit fancy and have an amber thing at the bottom of your sword. So then next scene you see our hero, and he's on a horse in this massive bearskin cloak, and I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
We don't think about bear.
Well, we had bears zipping around the woods, but also it would be a sign that he follows Odin.
Yes.
And we see through there he with the pagans, and then he becomes, I don't know, he's sort of nominally Christian, then he seems to slip back.
Yes.
But bearskin, again, very warm, which we need. And it's also advertising the fact I'm wealthy, I can kill a bear and make a nice cloak, and I support Odin.
Oh, fair enough. And then you see wooden gate at the end of it. That looks quite cool as well.
Yeah.
So overall, that's kind of the end of the trailer review. You know,
overall, I think it's a very good film to watch.
TV series.
Sorry, TV series. I get mixed up.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's well worth looking at, and they've tried. Someone's at least made the effort And it's easy to be hypercritical.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a heck of a lot worse. And, you know,
you can forgive their little inaccuracies. Most people won't notice them, but we will.
It's a good night in to watch.
But, you know, I can sit down, I can relax it and watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to watch them soon, the first series.
You don't get stressed
second
out like,
series.
no, that's wrong. I mean, apart from swords on backs, there's no real oblong shields, but we've gone through all that.
But I think overall it's great that they're bringing the Dark Ages to TV again, and they're talking about Alfred the Great.
At least
and,
the facts are there.
You know, the Saxons and Vikings. If we don't talk about our heritage, we lose our heritage.
And it alerts people to the fact that, hey, have a look. And if it inspires one,
Yes.
then that's time well spent.
So if you've not seen The Last Kingdom, the first series, series 1, I highly recommend you go and watch it on the BBC somehow. You could probably buy a copy or...
The old BBC,
Yes.
But worth a look.
Yeah, worth a look. And we are going to review the second series soon.
Yeah.
So for now, if you've got any comments or any questions on this trailer, or you have any suggestions of other further trailers for TV series we can review, then you know what to do. Just please leave us your comment.
Okay.
We do love your comments. And if you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to go and check out our playlist of trailer reviews. We've done a few now, and we've got some more to do in the future. So for me, Broggy, it is goodbye.
And from me, Egil, it's bye. And hey, keep watching.
Keep groovy.
Yeah.